If you want to talk to me anymore, you're going to have to get some money out of your pockets. The free charity work is done.
Hello. I'm glad to be home, back in Romania, like I said I'd be, because innocent men don't run from anything. We're here to clear our names and exonerate ourselves, and after all we've been through, we truly deserve the day in court where it is stated that we've done nothing wrong and that we should have never been in court in the first place. We should have never gone to jail. We should have never had our assets seized. We should have never had our name slandered. Anyone who believed any of this garbage has a particularly low IQ. I think there's a lot of people in the world today that do not have faith in Romanian institutions, but we're going to restore that faith by coming home as American citizens, going to court, and getting the not guilty that we deserve. Is there any questions?
What's your take on the Florida criminal case?
I don't think there is a criminal case. There is a investigation, which I'm happy to be investigated. Any single person on the planet can endlessly be investigated for anything. You can be investigated. They might be investigating you right now, sir. You don't know. People get investigated. That's how it goes. We've done nothing wrong. So I have no fear for anything, for any country, anywhere to investigate me. I do not ask for any kind of special treatment because I'm well known. All I want to do is be treated fairly under the law, same as everybody else, and I'll go home and be a free man.
Yeah, I think it's very telling. I think it's very telling that we were investigated for 2.5 years and we were dragged, in front of the media, into prison, out of prison, all this time. And in December last year, a judge said, well, there's not evidence enough for this to even go to trial. So I think that we deserve a little bit of leniency. And if you are a member of the press, you should report heavily on that fact. The fact that after investigating us for years of our life and sending us to prison, putting us on house arrest, that they couldn't even put together enough evidence to even have a trial.
And I think that's an interesting point my brother just made. I think it's very interesting you guys ask us all the time about how guilty we are, not understanding that if we were guilty, we would certainly be rotting away in jail. For 3 years, they've destroyed our lives and lied about us, and they can't even get us to trial. I think it would be a far more interesting question if you to start asking why that is happening. If you want to be a good journalist, you should sit and say, why do they keep attacking these boys, but they don't have enough evidence to ever put them in trial or ever put them in jail, but they keep attacking them everywhere they go? Because when you start to actually talk about that, then you'll be doing real journalism, if you're allowed to do it, and then you'll be interested in the truth of the story. Because the truth of the story is not any of the garbage that you've been told thus far, or we would be in jail. Anything else?
That I have my American passport back in my hand. I can travel where I like. If any authorities from any police force anywhere in the world wish to speak to me, they have my number. They will call me and I'll answer the phone. 44 times I went to court in Romania, not because there was a trial, but to see if I would be allowed to travel. And I told judges 44 times, I'm not a flight risk. Please return me my passport. Please don't keep me locked away from my family. So I know that when I left, there was some backlash. I know that when I left, people were being pressed about the controversial decision about 2 men who'd already had their case dismissed being able to travel and see their families again. Well, here I am back in Romania, as I said I would be. So all 44 of those court hearings, including the ones that happened when I was taken from prison, were completely worthless. There was no point in doing any of them.
And that's a very interesting point. Guys, let's actually analyze. They kept saying we're a flight risk. We left and we came back. So all of these 3 years of imprisonment were a complete waste of time against innocent men who have never been tried. It is supposed to be innocent until proven guilty in a democracy. We have never been convicted of any crime anywhere on the planet ever. And as my brother said, we have our passports back. And just like you, anyone else here decides to take a trip, they're allowed to take a trip. We live in Romania. We love Romania. We're never going to leave Romania. We have a house in Romania. We have Romanian children. We're going to be in Romania all of the time. If we feel like a holiday, we'll take one. And if a court needs to speak to us, we'll be there because we are innocent.
There are allegations that the U.S. government put some pressure on the Romanian authorities.
We won the case on December 19th, 2024. That is when the appeal court said there's not enough evidence here to even have a trial. That was in December 19th, 2024. The president at the time was Joe Biden, and Joe Biden hates me, so I seriously doubt there was any American pressure.
I think it's amazing that people think there was American pressure required to let men go who couldn't even get a case to trial after 3 solid years of imprisonment. I mean, why would you need pressure for that? Surely, in any civilized country, when a man spent 3 years locked in his house for no reason, eventually they're going to say, okay, you can travel now because we don't even have a case. I think it's incredible people are not sitting here thinking they should have let him go way sooner. There's no American pressure. There's just the rule of law. We're innocent men who have never been convicted. And because of that, we've come here to prove our innocence because we deserve our day in court.
Ce se legă de plecarea Sir Ed David. And given his assessment that President Trump really is a reliable ally, will his government request an urgent extradition of the Tate brothers?
Prime Minister.
This is a live issue, as he'll appreciate, and therefore I'll tread carefully. But the principle is absolutely clear. Justice must be done in all cases, including in this case. But I won't go into the details because this is a live case, as he knows.
Anca. Well, you know, I'm not convicted of any crimes. I'm a free person who has not been convicted of anything, just as the same as you are or anyone else here. So I can take a holiday anywhere I want. I can go to Greece, I can go to Australia, I can go anywhere I like. So I'm not sure, but for now, I'm happy to be back in Romania. This is where I live. I love Romania very much, and I'm going to spend the next few weeks in Romania probably, unless I decide spontaneously to leave. And I will do that as long as I obey my obligations to the court, which I of course will do. I'm allowed to go anywhere I like. I think the governor of Florida was hijacked by the media. The media jumped on him, and he didn't realize he was an American citizen, and now he understands he made a mistake, and there's been some conversations, and everything's been settled and fixed. And what happened with Well, the UK is my host nation. If they feel like they need to talk to me, I will comply with all judicial authorities. Of course, we all know that an accusation means nothing. I can accuse you of being an alien. Does that make you an alien? No. Are you an alien?
I'm not.
You're not an alien.
I think she is. Put her in preventative detention.
Put her in jail. Judicial control. So it doesn't matter what you're accused of. This guy with the big mouth, if he interrupts again, I'm going to end it for everybody. So it doesn't matter what you're accused of. It matters what you are proven guilty to have done in a fair court of law. Accusations mean nothing. It doesn't matter how many times they repeat an accusation on the news. That is garbage. I will comply with all judicial authorities everywhere around the world because I am completely innocent, as we all know. And for anybody here who wants to do honest journalism, you need to ask yourselves why there is this witch hunt. Why the Matrix is so desperate to try and convince the world I'm a bad person and put me in jail when I've clearly done nothing wrong. It's been 3 solid years. They can't even find enough evidence to take me to trial. If you want to talk to me anymore, you're going to have to get some money out of your pockets. The free charity work is done. My name is Will. Ah, you're nobody.